back again, starting off quick with the starting the conditionals. Starting the conditionals practice. Starting off real quick with the moon landing check. Write a function, check moon landing that takes a Boolean parameter landed and a number parameter altitude. The function should return successful mission if the astronaut has landed on the moon, landed is true, and the altitude is less than or equal to 100. Otherwise, return mission failed. I forgot to make my crosshair big again. Hold on. Oop, too big. That'll do. That'll do. Oops. Hold on just a second. Peter just disconnected from the internet for a second, so I gotta make sure everything's okay. Alright, everything seems to be good. So, we're going to start it, check moon landing. So, if landed is equal to true, I got to find my symbols. What the heck is that and symbol? Oh, 7. Ah, and. I gotta do that twice. Altitude is less than or equal to 100. Is that's the prompt right there. Then we return. Crap. Successful. Pretty sure I spelled that right. Mission. I gotta look at the left. Yeah, I spelled it right. Successful mission. Else. I'm gonna do an else. Return. Oops. Mission failed, and I have to uncapitalize the big mission because that'll count against me. And just like that. Puts it in 50 is true. Boom, boom, boom. So what we did here is we checked to see if the parameter landed is true, and if the altitude is greater than or equal to 100, which is what it was supposed to. Which, if both is true, then this double and is like if both is true, then return this. Else, mission failed. Moving on. Some point today, maybe. All right. You've uncovered the legendary golden skull treasure chest on Skull Island, but it's magically locked. Only those who utter the secret passphrase can open it. Your job is to write a function. Open chest passphrase that checks the phrase and returns either chest opened, the secret passphrase is golden key, access to knife, or anything else. Parameters, passphrase, the word adventure is attempted to speak, return a status message string indicating success or failure. Okay, that was a whole lot of fancy words for something simple. Yes. I say that a little bit ago, this would drive me insane because I'd have no idea. So, what we're gonna do if statement, and we're gonna do I don't like the passphrase. That's a very interesting word. Passphrase is equal to golden key, which is our word. Then we return chest opened. Then we just go else return access denied. Boom. So basically what we did, it only works if this parameter that is inputted passphrase is equal to golden key. If not, it just returns denied. No access to the golden treasure. Alright. Welcome to Mystical Brews, the premier potion shop in the Enchanted Forest. Loyal customers receive magical discounts on their healing elixirs. Write a function, apply discount gold coins that checks how many coins a customer has. If they have 20 or more coins, subtract 5 coins as a special discount. Otherwise, keep their total unchanged. Parameters: gold coins is the number of the coins on hand, and the final count number after applying any discount. Try it out. So, obviously we're going to start with another if statement. Yeah, I can't. Low-key just lost my, thank you. My brain just quit for a second. I lost my parentheses. Fantasy. Party. Landslide. Escape from reality. Sorry. The classics. Alright, and then we're going to do is greater than or equal to 20, which is how many coins we need for the discount. Then we're going to do return gold coins minus 5, because that's the discount, and then else, oops, we're just going to return gold coins. Oop, wrong button. To me. Maybe? Yeah, as I told you, my internet's being weird right now. I'm gonna have to like reset stuff before I can upload it to YouTube. So, alright, so we have gold coins greater than or equal to 20. If it is greater than or equal to, when we return it, we subtract 5 for the special discount. Otherwise, we keep it unchanged and we just return gold coins. Simple. Mama. Alright, deep within the arcane laboratory, I just moved that. I didn't know that I could do that actually. Within apprentice Alina mixes mysterious ingredients to brew powerful elixirs. Depending on the combination, she uses different potions to form. Invisibility potion when frog spawn meets new to eye. Life elixir when magic combines with phoenix feather. Mysterious brew for any other duo. Your task: implement brew potion ingredient 1, 2 that returns the correct potion name. And there's 1, 2, which is string, and then return the string, the potion that she ends up with. Okay. More variables, same general concept. Oops. Oh, button. Sam, sorry, I'm spacing out. My ADHD brain is. I don't think I think I have a little bit of ADHD and a little bit of OCD. I might have a little autism, just a little bit. Not like super bad, but it's there. I think. All right, I'm gonna do if ingredient 1 equal to, because we have frog spawn and newt eye, so we're going to do frog spawn. We're going to assume that's not bad, that whatever that red was. And we're just going to keep going and hope it works. And we're going to do ingredient 2 also equals newt eye. It's the same thing, it's just more variables and you just have to write it out. I can't spell. Invisibility potion. Sorry, I have to look at that side to learn how to figure out how to spell. We're going to do else if, I believe that's how that goes. Oh, actually, you know what? No, we're just going to do another if. If ingredient. Well, yeah, because it's kind of completely different variables. Completely different occurrences. Oops, extra. Crap. Phoenix feather. I think because it just neither one of, if it doesn't match either one of those, I can just redo this and not have to write out anything else. I think I can just do that. Yeah. Okay, so what we did here, ingredient 1 is frog spawn, ingredient 2 new eye. That's the combination that makes the invisibility potion. And we just made sure it matched this part right here, and it double checked it with the example it gave off. And then we did the second one, ingredient 1 is mandrake and phoenix feather, which is the combination for the life elixir. Made sure we double check the spelling. And then the third one, if it doesn't equal either of those, because they're both independent if statements, it should just return mysterious brew, and if it does, then it shouldn't return mysterious brew at all. If it matches one of those, I believe. I mean, it seems to work. Alright, as commander of the Celestial Voyager, you must decide if it's safe to blast off. 2 crucial checks determine your fate. Fuel level must be at least 90% of capacity. System checks must be green. True. Your function, launch decision, fuel level should return. I'm just spitting you burst. Launch when both criteria met. Abort mission if systems are offline. Refuel needed if fuel is below 50%, but systems are online. And stand by for any other scenario. Fuel between 50 and 90 with systems online. Parameters, fuel level, and system checks. And then string your command to the crew. Okay, again, it's the same thing. They just keep adding more variables to try to confuse us. So we need to keep a steady brain on our heads. I don't have one of those, but it's fine. Steady head. Okay, so we're gonna do if. Oh, I turned my caps lock on. If we're gonna do system check. That's the first variable. Also, I want to make sure. Okay, my mic is on. How loud is it? Oh, my keyboard is so loud. I am so sorry. I don't know how to fix that though. It's just magnets. I can't. Okay, so if system checks equals false, I'm gonna do return abort mission without the second capital because we know it's not gonna work if we do that. And we're gonna do separate if statements like we did last time. We're gonna do fuel level is greater than or equal to 50. Return launch with a the exclamation mark is shown right there. We do if fuel level. Oh, I forgot the parentheses. If fuel level is less than 50, return spell. Return refuel needed. And then, like last time, I should just be able to write standby as the last one, or any other materials. We're gonna test it to make sure I'm right. Oh. Which one? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's supposed to be 90. I knew that. Oops. Okay, so we did system check equals false. So if it didn't check, if the systems aren't true, then abort, which is systems offline. Fuel level is greater than or equal to 90, which must be at least 90%. It's good for launch, and this is assuming it's true without setting it to false. And then if fuel level is less than 50, refuel needed, because systems are assumed to be true. And then return standby for any of the others. So I just needed that to be 90, and I just messed that up like an idiot. It's okay. We just can't do numbers. Numbers are not our thing, apparently. Write a function can enter festival that takes two parameters, has ticket, a boolean, and age, an integer. The function should return true if the person has a ticket and is 18 or older. Otherwise, it should return false. So, how did an angel make me feel pain? This is actually really simple, I believe. I mean, it should just be return as ticket, because that's first parameter, and age is greater than or equal to 18, and it should return true just by default. Yeah, because if these equal true, that it just assumes it equals true, and then if it doesn't, it equals false. Because one of these parameters isn't met. That's the part of the and it's creating the conditional that it's trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us that if the parameters aren't both met, then it doesn't work. Why am I getting text messages? Hold on 1 second. Go away, taking the higher day, heart don't break. Sorry, people things. She walked away and it's all on me, taking me crazy, but still can't see. I can't do high notes. I'm on my knees, but I still can breathe. Okay, can't be singing that one. Sorry. Discussing work things, kind of. Oh, if you guys haven't seen Arrow, first few seasons of peak, then it goes downhill, and then he hits jail. The jail part is peak. I love the jail entries, like the entrance to the jail scene. It's like first episode in the season, and it's just him working out with his massive ripped muscles and I try picking it hurts in my bones, 'cause I know that I did this. I won't try to miss it. And I let all my bridges burn. I don't need. I've done a mess. Alright, she's gonna keep talking to me, and I'm gonna have to keep pausing, but it's fine. Create a function is vegetarian that takes one parameter, a string dish name. The function should return true if the dish is salad, pasta, tofu, or tofu stir fry. False if any other dish. That is not the only vegetarian food, but okay. I get it. They're trying to limit the different parameters, but I'm just weird. I wonder if I do this. So dish name, I'm just gonna do salad. I wonder if this still works. I don't know if it does. Oops. I know that it ended as I let all my bridges burn. Is it not auto? I don't know if it's gonna work this way. If it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Works the second time, it just didn't work the first time. I'm the one who caused them. Here in the mess I live in. Ah, got capitals, dummy. I gotta do it on every one of them too. Dang it. I live in. So basically what we did is, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember what these bars do, but I'm assuming it's just a continuation, and it means I don't have to redo that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it's in here. That looks like it is. Combine many booleans. Oh, so it just combines it. It's just kind of like a continuation, it looks like. I just remember them existing and it working like that. And basically what it did is, if it equals salad, it prints it. If it equals pasta, it prints it. If it equals tofu stir fry, it prints it, or it says true. If it equals any of these, it says true, and then if not, it just auto defaults to false. Where's Malia Studer? That name drop. Oops. Good on my chest. I feel my breath. Oh, wait, hold up. Nah, I thought that was something different. Same thing. Every time we talk, it's the same thing. Oh my god. Then you hear me in the same way, same place. Create a function describes spice. It takes one parameter, a number, spice level. The function should return mild if spice is less than 3, medium if spice level is 3 or more but less than 7, hot if spice level is 7 or more. Okay. So same concept, little bit more confusing, attempted at least. It's not really that bad. It's just I'm gonna have to use a whole lot of graven and less than symbols, and it's gonna be annoying, but it's fine. Spice level is less than 3. I'm gonna return. I'm gonna return mild. Oops, I broke that. Alright, and then I'm gonna do separate if statements again. I'm gonna do spice level. Is less than 7. Turn fuck is the same thing? Oh my god, you hear me in the same way, same place. And then we're gonna exit the if statements and just return hot if it's great, because if it doesn't match either of those, it's gonna match that one, just like before. Yep. So we just did exactly what the assignment said. If it's less than 3, if spice level is less than 3, returns mild. It's more than 3 or more but less than 7, medium. And then return hot if it doesn't meet either of those. Disguise. Create a function, slice status that takes one parameter. A number of slices left. The function should return all gone. Backfired. It was all dream. All gone if slices left is 0. A few slices left is slices left between 1 and 3 inclusive, and plenty left if slices are more than 3. So it's like the exact same concept, just different variables. Ow! Sorry, my knee just popped. Yeah, it's the exact same concept, just with other variables and actual numbers, like more numbers. That is. We're gonna do is equal to 0, and we're gonna return the all gone with an exclamation mark, as shown on the assignment portion, and then we're gonna do separate if statement again. Slice status. Oh, actually, not equal to, dummy. Is greater than or equal to 1, and double. Wait, why did I say status? Oops. Did it twice. That's not gonna work. And slices left is less than or equal to 3. Return a few slices left. And then, just like before, we're going to leave those, and then we're going to return plenty left. Just like that. Simple. Oops. I forgot the S. Oh, I did it twice. Wait, what? Yeah, I did it twice. I'm tripping. Alright, so what we did is similar concept. If it equals 0, it's all gone. If it's less than or equal to 1, and greater than, or is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 3, so it's 1, 2, or 3. A few slices left, and then outside of it, return plenty if it doesn't match either of those. Simple as can be. You're given 5 individual integers A, B, C, D, and E, as well as target integer called target. Write a function count matches that determines how many of the 5 values are equal to target. The function should take 6 parameters. It should return number of parameters that match the value of target. Oh, I gotta skip a song. Cause yeah, we're not doing a foul name now, Kimmy. 2 trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Alright, so we're gonna have to go back in time a little bit. We're gonna do let count equals 0. Ooh, if I can find number buttons on my keyboard. Back again. And we're gonna do a whole lot of if statements. I believe I just have to do the same thing over and over again. So if A equals target, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna count plus plus, because I'm actually gonna copy and paste that, because actually I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this whole line and just repeat it each time, and then just change the variable. B but our problem's complicated, so the FCC won't let me be. Okay, so basically what it does is we created a variable count, which is set to 0, and then if one of the variables is equal to target, all this count plus plus does is adds 1 to that count. So if it does equal, then it'll add 1, and then it'll keep going until all of these are cleared. And like if first one does, second, the next two don't, it's still only 1, and then if the next two do, it equals 3, and then it just returns that. Simple-ish, kind of simple. You wouldn't really think about it unless you like thought about it. You know what I'm saying? If you get my drift. Mission has vision is scary. Start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel. Create a function, trick attempts that takes one parameter and number tries. It returns a string of try again, repeat tries. It tries times using a while loop. Return an empty string if tries 0 or less. Okay, so I don't think we've actually used. Oh, it's because we just iteration. We just hit the next English, the next practice section. I just brain farted. So we're getting into while loops now. While loops basically repeat something until the parameter in the parentheses is hit. I'll come down here. It's been a while since I've done these. Maybe. It's down by me. Bad me. It's on me. It's all let go. It's all, but nobody listen to tech. No one. Let's go. While loops. While the Boolean expression repeats until the expression turns into true. So it's. We're going to do something similar. We're going to do let results. Oops. We're going to go back to the assignment so that we can have that. 20 million on the bears and marriage. We do while. Is greater than 0. Result plus equal to. Without that second capital. No, I'm just writing this all out. I'll explain it here in a second. If it works. Drat. Did not work. Oh, I put an extra space. That's why. Wait. I'm so confused. Oh, it does need a space. What? I'm so confused. I walk a fine line between coping and insanity. It's everything works. It's just the way it's printing doesn't like it. It's this extra space, but if I take away the space in here, because it goes in multiple times, if I take away that space, then it just makes it even worse, because then you don't have the space in between each. Try again. But then you don't have the extra space. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm starting to think. Okay, so instead of okay, hear me out. We do if count is greater than 1. Oh, I don't know why that's still there. Oops. And then we come back and we go under that and go count. I believe. Maybe? Oh wait, I forgot to remove that space. Aha! Okay, so from the top, we set the result to blank, just quotation marks blank. So in those quotation marks, we set, and then we did let count equal tries just to make count easier. While count is greater than 0, so however many tries go in that are more than 0, it returns result to adds try again into result, so it just turned into try again with an exclamation mark. And then what I did here is to solve the spacing problem was if the count is greater than 1, the result will add a space at the end because this part will have already executed, so we'll add this space at the end. And basically what it did is what it had each time was I had the space at the end and it would add the space, but then it would add the extra space at the end here. So what this does is basically it counts, and if it on the first try it's the amount is still greater than 1, so it adds a space. On the second try it's still greater than 1, adds a space. Third, same thing, adds a space because it's greater than. Fourth one adds a space, and then it goes to the fifth one. It recognizes that it's less than, it's 1 or less than, so it doesn't add a space at the end, getting rid of that extra spacing problem. And then this count just minuses however many from the count / tries, and as the while loop is going, and then returns. So this basically ends the while loop eventually, and then returns the result of true or false, or returns the true result of true or false. My brain, I just had a heart attack. Alright, I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna go do something real quick. Practicing long jumps in gym class. Each jump adds 3 meters to your total distance. Write a function count jump that determines how many jumps it takes to reach or exceed a certain distance. The function should be one parameter distance. It should be return the number of jumps needed to reach or exceed that distance. So we're just gonna do let jumps equal 0, let total equal 0. Go back and add semicolons because I didn't do that previously. And we're gonna make a while loop. We're gonna make while total is less than distance. We're gonna do total adds, each jump is 3 meters, so we're going to do adds 3, what's 3, with a space, make it look pretty, and then we're going to do jumps, we're going to add 1 to each jump, or add to the number of jumps, and then basically, once that cancels out, we're just going to do return jumps, for however many jumps it takes. Okay, so, we set the number of jumps equal 0, we set the total distance, do not do that. Set the total distance to 0, and then what we did is while the total distance actually traveled is less than the distance that we're aiming for, it adds 3 to the total distance, and then it adds 1, so it'll take the 0 to 1 for each jump, and then 1, 2, 3, and it repeats until the total is greater than the distance, which then it ends the while loop, and then returns the number of jumps that accumulated from inside the while loop, just like that. Simple-ish. Alright, I'm going to be right back. apologies, it took me so long. I came back and we're having some more internet issues, but hopefully at least now it's workable and I can actually do stuff. So, jump right back in on button bouncer, another iteration work. In a game, a player presses a button repeatedly. The button only counts every fourth press as valid. As a valid bounce, right? Function count valid bounces that takes in the total number of button presses and returns how many valid bounces occurred. The function should take one parameter. Presses an integer. It should return the number of bounces every fourth press. And my computer just disconnected from the internet again. Ooh. Alright, it's back. Maybe we can survive. Like, gosh golly. Should not be this difficult. So, I think this is going to be pretty easy because it's just once every, just to count how many, so it's going to be return, I'm going to do, to make sure it stays a solid, a full number, a whole number, that's what I was after, divided by 4 for however many presses, or for bounces. Basically all this does is we're dividing however many presses are inputted, the parameter of presses, and then we're dividing it by 4 for every fourth press, and then this math.floor is just rounding it down, I believe. It's rounding it down to the nearest whole number, so that we don't have any like 7 divided by 4, or like 5 divided by 4, 1.25s or whatever. Alright, now we're on recursion. Write a function to calculate the factorial of a number. Input 5, expected output 120. Factorial is a big word. Oops. It's actually very simple. Ish. There's a few steps. We're going to do let result equal 1. We're going to do for let I equal, sorry, I'm gassy, I'm burping, I equal 1, and then I greater than or equal to n, semicolon, and then for each one we add 1. And in case you didn't notice, n is the input for the factorial. We do results times equal I return result. Oops, clicked off. Okay, so what we did is we set result to 1, so it has a basis of 1, and then we go 4, we set I equal to 1, and then for as long as I is less than or equal to n, the inputted parameter, I gets added 1, and the result, this result is times equal to I, and then it's just returned at the end. And disconnected from the internet again. I'm really glad I just decided to record instead of streaming, because this would be very annoying if I was streaming. But, alright, we're back again. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a combination of the internet and my Wi-Fi adapter right now, because I do not have Ethernet and I should. Write a recursive function to calculate sum of an array of integers. Very dot slice. Similar concept. Oh, sorry. You pop my back. Back go down. We ready to roll. Okay, so it's a very similar concept. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it a little different. It's just because I feel like it. I like oblivious. Cameras are up and center. Fucking random. There's some menaces. Oops. sorry I did that. I just thought I was strong when I finished it. I'm doing my top 5, so dead or alive, you making a cut. To top line, you're making it up. You're making it up. You pay for nothing. You know, here you got your dash wish. What's up, pedestrians. Alright. I believe this works. Oops. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so did here. So it's recursive function to calculate the sum of any integer. So what we did is we took the array, we checked if the length equals 0, then return 0, and otherwise we're returning array the first integer in the array plus the sum of the slice 1, which ignores the very first one, so it just keeps adding on to it. I believe. And how to use it, I don't exactly remember what it does. It's to say, if in 10 years time I'm still on your mind, falling, saying this. Write a recursive function to calculate the positive exponent of a number. Because I loved it, and I promise you're the locksmith. It may take forever. Said it too soon. Nights I want to know, but nobody knows like you do. You know that I wanted, you know that I still are. Been it right, yeah, but you showed me better. Alright, sorry. I'm just chilling. Okay, so we're going to do if the exponent at breaking the silence to say, you know, any number multiplied by the exponent of 0 equals 1. So, do that. Go on. Say you want this. No matter where we are, you still have my heart. And I promise you're the locksmith. Also, any exponent multiplied by 1 just equals itself. So we're just going to return itself. Read it now, you planting roses. The others are playing like the falcons. If in 10 years time I'm still on your mind, you call it. Say you want this. No matter where we are, you still have my heart. I loved it. Yeah, I brought up it. Power's no longer on that screen, so you can't. What did I do, base? Oh, I did that. Dude. My brain, dude. Okay, so if the exponent is equal to 0, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. The exponent has the power of 1, you just return the same. Return the base or the num, and then we return num times the exponent, which is num to exponent minus 1. Simple. Create a recursive function that returns whether a string is palindrome. Example, Hannah, true. Okay, so it's the thing where if you can go forward and backwards, then it's true. We've done something similar to this, but not quite the same. So we're going to do if, let's say, oops, measure with hate. is a piece of your brain. Gotta do it for my fam, cause I ruined this thing. For my fam, but your fam, gotta do it for me, cause of me. Oops, that is not a comma. That might have been it. Yep, okay. Jesus, I was about to crash out. I was like, that looks perfect. I just missed. Okay. So, what we did here, we did if the string length is less than or equal to 1, return true. Because it is, if it's one letter, it is a palindrome. Because you can just reverse it. Boom, palindrome. And then we did if the first letter or whatever does not equal the last, return false. So basically it checks, like the Hannah, it would check if the H is the same as the last H, and if it isn't, it returns false. That's what this exclamation mark in the equals is does not equal. And we do, at the end we do return is palindrome, so this, and then we do the string dot slice to ignore the first thing, I think. The slice thing, still not entirely sure what that does. I'll see if it's in the docs. Actually, I should let's do the next one. I know you can be, baby. Doesn't seem like it's anywhere down here. The way to find searching for such a high desire. Ugh. I'll just be on Instagram, I guess. Second, can we? Oh, there it goes. Happy. I know you can be. Write a recursive function that counts the number of consonants there are in a string. Example, hello world, input hello world, expected output 7. Okay. Let's have my Snapchat. Alright. We're gonna start with an if. We're gonna do string length. Use my big crosshair so I can actually see what I'm doing. Have you forsaken the times that we had? Again, I'm just gonna kind of write this out and then explain it. And then if I don't have any problems, I'll fix it. Go ahead and explain what I did. Part of that's because I can feel my voice starting to be a little strange, so I'm just gonna limit how much I do normal talking. If I sing, it's weird. It's like I sing nothing, but the second the second I talk normally, it starts to hurt. Let's just take a chance, fall asleep, lying next to him. You think of me. just disconnected from the internet. I'm gonna rewrite this whole part. I mean, it didn't really disconnect. I think my upload just. I'm having like my download's decent, but then my upload is like it's 30 to do most things smoothly, and I've been having like it'll just dip down to 5 and 10. So it's just annoying. Life as you can't wait till my papa puts us on the fiber that's was put in recently. Actually, a couple of years, yeah. Have I shared? I can't spell. Constant. Pretty sure. Okay. Oh, let me. Okay. If it's 0, turn 0. Simple as that. Beginning. Then we do constant. We define a bunch of constants, starting with first. First is the first letter in the string. Then we do vowels, which is A, E, I, O, U. And then we do constant is letter, and we do first is greater than or equal to A, and first is less than or equal to Z. This is to define parameters of a letter, and then we do like it just gives us the whole alphabet basically, and then is consonant takes the letter and make sure it does not equal the vowels, and the first does not equal the vowels, and then we return, and then you return if is consonant question mark 1 0. I honestly don't remember what the question mark does, but it works. And then we add we do this number consonants, and we just do it repeats it. The dot slice, I believe it's just a repeating. It'll just repeat, and then what that one does is like it'll just add one each time to the what is slicing, so that. And am I being very vague? Yes. Could I fix a problem? Yes. Do I exactly know what it means? No. I did not mean to push that. Write a recursive function that calculates the length of a string. You cannot use dot length. Assume the string, the length of the string is at least 1. No dot length, huh? Did I feel the noise? Making it out of bed. What's the point? Okay, so no dot length. So we're gonna do. We're assuming it's at least 1. Do that because that's the same thing as 0. We just return 0. And then this. You face it in temporary. Face you straight to the cemetery. So run away, I'll be right behind you. And then I believe that's simple as that. Alright, so because we're not allowed to use dot length, this is the empty quotation marks is the equivalent of 0. So if it equals 0, it'll return 0. And then we do return 1 plus the string length sliced. So it'll just keep going until it's completely done. Alright, it's counted all the letters. Write a recursive function that reverses a string. Olay to hello. No escape if I must remind you. And your face isn't temporary. Okay, so we're gonna do. Hey, we're allowed to use string length again. So we're gonna do string length is greater than or less than or equal to 1. We just return string because if it's 1, reversing it's just 1 or 0. Guess I'm gonna do. Okay, so what this does is 1 letter or less, so it just returns it, boom, simple. And then this, it returns the reverse string. It returns this reverse string. So it, first letter going all the way through plus the last letter, so it'll just cycle through and just flip the letters, basically. Go. Rearrange the following lines of code to correctly implement a recursive function that computes the factorial of a given number. The function should take a non-negative integer as input and return its factorial use recursion. Should just be the same exact structure. So if it equals 0, it just simply returns 1, and then outside of that we do the actual math part. Initialize a JavaScript program that defines a recursive function to repeat the string zap a given number of times. The function should return the full repeated string. For an input of 3, the output should be zap zap zap. Only 1 correct order is possible. The variable names are generic. Oh crap, I did that wrong. I think. Okay, but I can't go first. Talk about you monetize the system in town. I heart face a little when I hear your name. Sounds like realize I should wash your flowers in here. Should have given all my hours. Alright, so I'm an idiot. So if it equals 0, return 0. That's what that equals 0, and then if returns zap plus, if it doesn't equal 0, returns zap plus the number minus, and then it prints the input of 3, or prints the example. I don't know why that F3 is in there actually. Look at my life, I will never get to clean up the mess I made. Oh. Write a recursive function that calculates the sum of all numbers from 1 to a given number n. The function should call itself until it reaches the base case where n is 0, and then return the sum. For example, n equals 5, the assumption would return 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 15. But she's dancing with another man. Alright. If it equals 0, return 0, else return n plus the recursive sum, n minus 1. So it counts down, but going up. Oh, I know probably was too late. I apologize for my mistakes. I just want you to know. I hope he finds you. Arrange the following lines of code to define a function that computes the factorial of a given number using recursion. Remember that factorial 0 should return 1. Function, if it equals 0, return 1. Else, return that. Close it off with correct indentation. If it equals 0, return 1. Otherwise, if n times the factorial n minus 1, so counting down as it goes up. Boom. Write a recursive function that sums all the numbers in an array. The function should take an array of numbers as an argument and return them the sum. Use recursion to solve this and make sure that when the array is empty, the function returns 0. So function, again, if it equals 0, return 0, simple, close that. And then just at the bottom, will you let me put you at the bottom? Return the first number of the array plus the next one, cascading. Yep. Only one. Alright, now we're on string symbol 2. I believe this is gonna be where I stop it for the day, just because, and it's being annoying, and I gotta figure out how to get it. It might take even longer to upload to YouTube this time. So, also there's a thing I wanted to go over. I did not realize it until I finished uploading the second video that by selecting 4 kids, it has disabled the comment section. So what I'm going to do is try to make sure the comment section works this time. That way, if anybody has a problem that they're running into, they can put it down in a comment and asking for help. I may be dumb, but I can usually figure stuff out, and I can try to explain it to you in the video, in the next video, if somebody drops something. And yeah, if you want to, hit that like button. It'll share it to other people, make it look like it's super helpful. You know, I'm super helpful, I'm great. And then I don't really care about subscribe button. There is gaming videos on this channel. I'm sooner rather than later, I believe I'm going to be uploading some new videos, some new clips that I've got from Valorant and Fortnite. I think it's just Valorant mainly. So if you guys want to look at those when they come out. I also don't believe this video will be coming out for, currently it's March 2nd. I don't believe it's going to be coming out for at least until tomorrow, when my internet works better. I can actually upload it and make sure it doesn't have any issues, because generally when I try to upload stuff when the internet's like this, it'll stop, like it'll completely crash and it'll make issues, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. So anyways, thank you for anybody who stops by and watched this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and yeah, if you have a problem, drop it in the comment section. I will look at it. I will see if I can find an answer. Find a solution and then describe it as best as I can, explain it so that you and me both understand it. Because generally, I don't understand a lot of the stuff I do. I just do it because it's second nature. We have officially completed all of the level 1s. Going to be moving into the JavaScript level 2s, and then I believe if anybody wants a specific language, they can ask for it, but I believe after this, I think I'm going to go to, this one's a lot of math. Java's a lot of math. I'm either going to go to CSS, C++, I guess now. I guess there's not much in that. I guess I could just do that as a part of the thing. And then SQL, which is some of the stuff I've done more recently. It's just been some of the stuff I've done more recently, it's just been a long time as well. It's been 2 years since I've done SQL as a part of database and programming class. But I believe I'll find it again just as quickly as I refound JavaScript. I mean, you guys, if you watched all the videos so far, you saw the first one, I was absolutely cooked. Second one, still wasn't great. And then this one, I'm just kind of flying. I'm figuring it out just like that. Snapping the fingers. So, thank you everybody stopping by, and have a good day.